Hello. So whether you just started the game as a Conjurer and looking to become a White Mage, or just wanted to check out the job, this guide is for you. I'll be covering up to level 50 White Mage in this guide. If you want more information on the later levels of the job, I suggest taking a look at my Idiot Skills / Abilities Guide to White Mage, as I go over it there. Before we begin, I want to state something important for any new players watching this video. Please do your class quests. They show up underneath your main scenario guide, which is usually in the top left corner of your screen. Class quests are very important, as they allow you to get new spells, skills, and abilities, as well as your job stone for White Mage later on. So make sure to do them as you level up. Now let's get into it. Let's begin by talking about your spells and abilities up to level 15 on Conjurer, which by then you should have unlocked Stone, Cure, Arrow, Medica, Raise, and the role actions Repose, Asuna, and Lucid Dreaming. Stone is your main DPS spell. This will be your main form of doing damage to enemies when you're not healing. Cure is a single target heal that'll heal a targeted party member. You can easily target party members for heals by simply clicking their name on the party list and then casting the spell. If you're on controller, you can press up or down on the D-pad in order to select party members and then cast the spell. Arrow is your damage overtime spell, or dot for short. This dot will last for 30 seconds and should be kept on an enemy at all times, especially bosses. It's also an instant cast spell, meaning you can use it while moving. Medica is an AoE healing spell. This should be used whenever your party's HP is getting low. Raise will resurrect a fallen party member. Raise has a long cast time, so make sure you're safe when trying to long cast the spell. Going over the role actions, Repose will put a target to sleep. This spell isn't that useful, however it can be in some solo content, or if you're trying to run away from an enemy. Asuna will remove a debuff from a targeted party member. Do note, the only debuffs that can be Asuna'd are debuffs that have a white line above them. If a debuff does not have this white line, it cannot be Asuna'd, so keep that in mind. Lucid Dreaming will gradually restore your MP. This ability is very useful since your spells cost a lot of MP. I'd recommend pressing Lucid when your MP is at or below 7,000, as this is a good amount to start gaining MP back, while still having a healthy amount to keep casting spells. Now to go over your level 15 rotation for Conjurer. This rotation is as simple as it gets, as all you need to do is start an encounter with Stone, cast Arrow, then spam Stone till Arrow is around 4 seconds, and then cast Arrow again to reapply the dot. Make sure to use your heals if necessary, but otherwise keep DPSing. You can easily practice rotations like these at the Striking Dummies in Summerford Farms in Middle Lenosha. Moving on to level 30, this is where you can get your job stone for White Mage from your class quests. You can equip the job stone by opening your character menu and clicking the bottom right slot of your character. With White Mage unlocked and at level 30, you should have gotten Stone 2, Cure 2, Presence of Mind, the role action Swift Cast, and the trait Maim and Mend. Stone 2 is an upgrade to Stone, which means it does more damage. Cure 2 is a stronger single target healing spell. This should be used over Cure, even though it has a higher MP cost. Presence of Mind is an ability that'll reduce your spell cast time and recast time by 20% for 15 seconds. This ability is very useful, as it is mainly used to do a lot of DPS very quickly, or in some cases, it can be used to help reduce the cast time of Raise and your other healing spells. The role action Swift Cast will make your next spell an instant cast. This ability is super useful, as it allows you to cast a spell while moving. It can also be used to negate the cast time of Raise, meaning you can instantly raise a party member with Swift Cast, so make sure to use it. The trait Maim and Mend increases your damage and HP restoration by 10%. The rotation for level 30 White Mage is pretty much the same, except the addition of Presence of Mind. Start any encounter with Stone, then cast Arrow. After 2 stones, use Presence of Mind. Then spam Stone till Arrow is at 4 seconds, and reapply it. Make sure to use Presence of Mind anytime it comes off cooldown. Before we go on, if you're enjoying this video so far, I highly suggest you subscribe and leave a like, as it helps a lot. If you want to support me even further here on YouTube, you can hit the join button and become a member. It's only $1 a month and anything helps. I also stream on Twitch every week, so if you want to watch me live, be sure to check out the Twitch link in the description below. Thank you so much for your support. Anyways, moving on to level 50 White Mage, you should have unlocked Regen, Cure 3, Holy, Arrow 2, Medica 2, Benediction, the role actions Surecast and Rescue, and the traits Free Cure and Maven Mend 2. Regen will apply a regen to a targeted party member. This ability is an instant cast, meaning you can cast it on party members while moving. It's a good idea to put regen on a tank as you're moving through a dungeon as well. Cure 3 is another AoE healing spell. It is stronger than Medica, however, it has a shorter range and costs more MP. I would still recommend using Cure 3 over Medica, especially if the party is grouped up together and you need a strong heal. Holy is your AoE DPS spell. Holy will also stun any enemies hit by it. This is by far the best AoE DPS spell out of all the healers, as the stun from Holy can be very useful for dungeons. Do note, stuns will not last forever, as the more you inflict stun on a target, the shorter the duration will be, and eventually they'll resist it. You should still use Holy as an AoE DPS spell, even after the stun gets resisted, as any damage is better than no damage. Arrow 2 is an upgrade to Arrow, meaning more dot damage. Medica 2 is an AoE regen spell. Its heal is smaller than Medica, however instead, it applies a regen to all nearby party members. This should still be used over Medica, as this regen will help everyone regenerate HP over time. For knowing when to use Medica 2 or Cure 3, keep an eye on the party list and your MP. If your party has lost a lot of HP, use Cure 3. If they've lost a good amount, but not a whole lot, use Medica 2 and let the regen do its work. If you don't have a lot of MP left and need a quick heal, use Medica 2. Benediction will completely restore the HP of a targeted party member. This ability has a very long 3-minute cooldown, but it is the saving grace of any party member, especially tanks. If you ever see your tank or any party member very close to dying, use this ability to save their life. Just be mindful that your tank may use their invulnerability skill and may not want the heal immediately. Going over the role actions, Surecast will make it so your spells cannot be interrupted and you cannot be affected by most knockback and draw-in effects. This ability is useful for its second effect, which is negating knockbacks. Not many early game bosses have mechanics like this, but you'll sometimes be knocked back and you can negate it by using Surecast before the knockback goes off, so you won't be affected by it. Rescue will pull a targeted party member to you. This ability has two uses: saving a party member from a dangerous situation, or to troll your friends by pulling them into a dangerous situation and taking both of you out. Either way, this ability can come very clutch if needed. The trait Free Cure can be a beginner's trap, as it makes it so Cure 1 will have a 15% chance of letting you use Cure 2 without using any MP. While this may sound good, it really isn't. Pretty much in all situations, Cure 2 by itself is better than running the gamble of trying to proc Free Cure. Even if you die, lose all MP, and Lucid Dreaming is on cooldown, I'd still suggest using Cure 2 anyway, as it'll guarantee you get a stronger heal over trying to gamble to get a stronger heal for free. Maven Mend 2 is an upgrade to Maven Mend, making you stronger. The level 50 rotation for White Mage is the exact same as level 30. For the AoE rotation, simply spam Holy, and use Presence of Mind if you want to spam Holy faster. Overall though, White Mage is a really fun and good beginner healing class. In the later levels of the job, it gets a lot of strong healing options, and a pretty cool gimmick that makes it so you can do a bunch of damage with one attack. However, before we end the video, I want to give some tips on healing as a whole, especially for new players. Whenever you're in a dungeon, I highly suggest watching your tank's HP and healing them whenever they drop below half HP. When their HP is above half, use your DPS spells, as a healer's damage is just as important as everyone else. Pretty much throughout most boss fights, you should be DPSing as much as possible, and only really stopping to use your healing spells when it's absolutely necessary to. It's okay to let your party drop a little HP, but not too far, and especially letting them die. You should also aim to use Swift Cast on Raise, but don't be afraid to use it for a Stone Cast if you need to. Something that I forgot to mention in my other beginner's guides is a technique known as slide casting. This can be very helpful whenever you need to move around but still want to keep casting. In order to slide cast, simply cast a spell and move around the 0.40 second mark on the cast bar. This is very ping dependent, so it may be different for you, but experiment and you should be able to find the timing for when you can slide cast. With all of that, I hope you enjoy White Mage going forward, and I'll see you again soon. Bye! Hey everybody! If you enjoyed the video, you should consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video. I have links to my Discord and other social media in the description below. Thanks so much for watching.